Hey guys, D1sco here, and today I'm reacting to the Dragon Ball, the Dead by Daylight 9.5.0 PTB patch notes. I didn't even know this was happening at first. I kind of forgot. I haven't kept up with this game very much in like a month or two. I've been busy. I was sick during that time. I'm still playing catch up with videos, but I'm almost caught up with Dead by Daylight, so I'm excited to film this video, see what's in the PTB, get this video out, finish up PTB videos, and then I'll be done. So, but yeah, so it looks like we got Trickster and the First getting updates. I actually have Trickster. I don't play him. He's not just because I suck as killer and I'm not very good at the game. I don't even have the First, so I don't know what people think of him, or I know from the PTB I sucked with him, but I digged him. I thought he was a nice inclusion. Features, so we got the customizable aura colors. I don't even remember what that is off the top of my head. The fog vial update, prestige rewards. I don't know what the fog vial update would be off the top of my head, because fog vials are already in the game as far as I'm aware. Prestige rewards is something that I know people have been wanting for a while. So far we've only ever had the bloody outfit, and of course getting perks unlocked for all characters and getting them to, that purple rarity, their final rarity, and the bloody prestige outfits, and that's it. Well, and then the perk charms, but that's it. There's no reason to get a character the Prestige 100. There's no reason to go past Prestige 9, really, because Prestige 9 gives you all of the stuff you get for all prestiging that character. Some people, I think, only go up to Prestige 3, which is fair because you get all the perks completed. But I really want to get all the bloody outfits for everybody because they're also unique in, like, interesting ways. And I think the perk charms are kind of funny, which is why I'd like to get some of them. Streamlined perk descriptions. So to me, that comes across as getting rid of that word soup that's on perks in their descriptions, because some of them are lengthy. So maybe getting rid of some of that, some of that word soup going on there, maybe make it a bit more transparent and less words what's going on. I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. Improved tool tips. I'm really not sure what that is. So we got perk updates for those are not barely readable. Fast track, hex crowd control, some soul preservation, and then a new map called Trickster's Delusion. Interesting. Let's see. So content. So we got a new map, Trickster's Delusion. The Sleepless District will be the new realm. Interesting. We are getting a new survivor called Quan Tae Young. Before I read this, I have like a genuine question I want to ask for everybody. So back in November, I think, or October, one of the two, they talked about this chapter briefly. They were planning on giving us a new killer with the March chapter, new map, and new survivor. But the way I understood things, the killer was a maybe. They were, I guess, considering to not doing it because of how I think just because of how pissed everybody was ever since the Walking Dead chapter. The way I understood things was the Walking Dead chapter happened, and then because of how bad it was bugs and some other things, their response to an OP perk that, granted, took had I guess a lot of steps to even like make it that way, but still, And then that led to the live stream where they kept having hackers, and they kind of pissed off at Starbucks. He was trying to fix it, but they kept not letting him. And then their special guest just dipped, and now you can't even watch the live stream because it was that bad. That supposedly forced changes, and then there ended up being more frustration in the October and November PTBs, because there ended up being two PTBs for some reason. Or maybe it was like September and November, something like that, but still. Where they tried two changes on really annoying killer playstyles. I believe it was slugging and tunneling, I believe. Maybe might be misremembering one, but they tried two different changes for those, both of which were considered absolute dog piss. And then they scrapped those ideas. They scrapped Skull Merchant's rework completely. They seemingly are just refusing to do it. So my question is what happened to that original killer's design? What happened to the killer that was supposed to kill as a chapter? Like, are we still gonna get that killer just later down the line, or are they just scrapping him permanently? Oh, no, scrapping him permanently. But also, just will they finally get this game into a good state? We'll see. So the new survivor's Quante Young, and she's got new survivor perks. Flow state. Whenever a generator is completed, or one token up to 5. For each token, you bless and cleanse stones 8-9-10% faster. You heal 8-9-10% faster. You unhook survivors 8-9-10% faster. I like that, honestly. I do like that. That's kind of a fun perk. Just, making certain things faster. And I feel like the things that they're making faster aren't like anything too crazy. In certain situations, yes, but overall, nothing too crazy. But I could see them also tweaking numbers and tweaking this perk. Some people act like PTB stuff is concrete, and it's not, right? The PTB stuff, the whole point of the PTB is so they can test what they currently have with certain things. Unfortunately, they're usually too far into development with whatever it is we are testing as players by the time they are added to the PTB to make substantial changes. Sometimes they do make substantial changes to it, like with the Mori, right? They updated the Mori system because they originally wanted you to just Mori one person in every match. I always thought that was kind of dumb that you couldn't Mori everybody, and then they did eventually change it in a later version that they tested like years later after the first version, and they brought back the ability to kill everybody, but they still left the Mori if you so choose. I do have a match. Okay, my computer is gonna be a bitch and a half today. Awesome. But yeah, it'll be interesting to have with flow state. A place for us, interesting name. While healing another survivor, you both gain elusive. I think elusive is fairly new, so I always forget what that is. Whenever you finish healing the obsession, they gain elusive for 20, 25, 30 seconds. When the trial starts, you are less likely to be the obsession. I kind of like a place for us a little bit. I don't fully understand. I can't remember what elusive does specifically. I believe it was kind of a stealthy one sort of stats effect where certain things about you were like lessened, grunts of pain, I think your blood pools and whatnot. I definitely like the idea of a place for us. So far, I'm kind of digging her perks more than some other of the more recent characters. Because some of their perks, you read it, or at least I read it, and my takeaway was this is very situational. Like, these aren't bad, but they're super situational in terms of how the game usually, like, how the match goes. And this I like because these two perks so far I like because they're a bit more universal. As long as the gen gets completed, right, you get tokens for whatever it was called, for flow state that allows you to get, these bonuses. Was a place for us, as long as you heal somebody, you guys get elusive, and if you heal the obsession, they get elusive for a little bit of time as well. And you're less likely to be the obsession, so that way if the killer has any like obsession related perks, you don't have to worry about that quite as much, which is nice. And finally, 5 more moves ahead. It kind of makes me think of chess. Usually with chess, though, you have to be however many moves ahead. I can't play chess. I don't know how to play chess, so I mean it's nothing to me. But yeah. While you are in the killer's tear radius or chased by the killer, interesting. You see the aura of the 5 closest pallets and windows. Definitely helpful to extend the chase, but you can only extend them so long. You know what I mean? Like, I suck donkey at this game, unfortunately, so. You drop pallets 50% faster, and that's really nice. I really enjoy that. That's helpful. There's times where I'll hit the button. Why do I keep getting ads? But yeah, um, there's moments where you try to drop a pallet and you are just not fast enough at all. So I'm happy that so that sounds nice. Whenever you drop a pallet, the cooldown is 30, 25 for choice. Like, okay, fair enough. I can see 5 moves ahead being a good perk for people who are good in chase. I still don't think I really like this new survivor's perks though. I don't feel like any of these are situational. These are all things that happen pretty commonly in gameplay. I like this perk moveset a lot so far. This is kind of the most excited for a perk build, like for new perks, in a while because they're not super situational and whatnot. I like some of the other perks we've gotten, but the problem is they're so situational. It's like, am I even going to get a chance to use them as often as I would like to? And I like these because I can actually see you getting some use out of these. Let's see here. Gameplay features. So we got killer updates for the Trickster. The Trickster now gains style points by throwing blades, injuring survivors, and performing distinct gameplay actions back to back. I don't know what that means yet, but I just want to say they did try touching Trickster a number of PTBs ago. This is like a number of years ago. But there was a problem. The problem was they wanted his main event to show up more, but they overcorrected. Like, a main event rarely happens, and they overcorrected by a fuck ton. I think they either cut the amount of like knives and lacerate like stuff you needed to get main event by half, or more than that. Like, it was insane. I think it only took like 6 knife hits or something like that to fill up laceration. Like, I think filling up laceration was a little bit quicker, and filling up main event was like way quicker. I still remember that PTB is one of the few PTBs where I actually like got 4Ks consistently against the boss and actually looked competent because he was just that insane. So they did tone that down, thankfully, and they mentioned in the post where they did tone him down for release. I think they said something about they were disappointed that they couldn't have main event happen more often in trials. And I'm just like, but they don't understand these things. Someone in that board meeting was like, you know what would be cool? Seeing that more, but not realizing that it's kind of nice that you don't see main event often in trials because it's so unbelievably insanely like it can be so insanely broken, and when they over corrected it was kind of miserable. So I'm really scared to hear with Trickster that they're going to somehow do something similar again, where they make him too insane in certain ways or something. So I'm kind of worried. The Trickster goes up in style ranks by earning style points. I don't even know what, like, I'm so lost so far. Each style rank improves the Trickster's blade throw and a walker restocking speed. So you need to get points by hitting people to get rank things. I'm so confused. I'm trying to figure this out though. And then those blade thing, and then those rank things allows you to reload quicker and throw better. Like, main event can now only be activated once, reaching the highest style rank. See, that to me feels like they understand the main event's rule a little bit. I understand them wanting to see it more, and I'm sure they'll tweak this version eventually, probably, to try to make it happen. But, again, main event is a huge tool. But it's kind of one of those huge tools. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head from any other game. But I know there's other games that have something like main event, which is like a huge tool. I guess my mind goes to Call of Duty with the maximum kill streak items. Like, those items, from what I remember, can be insane stuff that can really change the tide of that match in Call of Duty. And yes, I believe you can get this multiple times, but you have to do really well. And I feel like we really do really well and be on like certain like game modes. This game is a little bit different than that. It doesn't make sense to me, at least, to let him spam main event. I think main event being some like huge rewards you get or you can potentially get, and like towards the end of the match, and like potentially pull off some like huge like plays at the end or something could be cool. Oh my god, this computer is so annoying sometimes. Style points and style ranks are tracked via a new user interface element custom made for the Trickster. That's kind of cool that you can at least see where he's at with that stuff. Base kick. The Trickster's movement speed decreased to 4.4 meters. The second was 4.6 meters seconds. Blade count decreased to 36, was 44. Decreased tear radius to 24 meters, was 32 meters. Decreased time to enter throw state to 0.3 seconds, was 0.35 seconds. Decreased time to exit throw state to 1.15 seconds, was 1.25 seconds. Increased time between blade throws to 0.33 seconds, was 0.3 seconds. Decreased blade throw state movement speed to 3.68 meters a second. was 3.86 meters a second. After 8 consecutive blade throws, throw state movement speed is decreased to 3.53 meters a second. After 16 consecutive blade throws, throw state movement speed is decreased to 3.16 meters a second. Increased blade throw rate per blade throw. After 8 consecutive blade throws, the throw rate increased by 50%. After 16 consecutive blade throws, the throw rate is increased by 100%. That's a lot to take in. Not gonna lie, that kind of overloaded my brain a little bit. But I like how there was a...
Modern life is demanding, and your wellness should feel effortless. I'm Heidi, a board-certified nurse practitioner and founder of Sunflower Wellness and Hydration.
I like how there was a nice balance there of good and bad. Right. There's a nice balance in there of nerfs and buffs, which is kind of nice. This will probably be more substantial to like trickster mains and people who are better at killer than me because I suck. But on paper, it doesn't sound terrible. But like on paper, few things do. I'm still skeptical because of how this game has been going lately, but also just this character in general. Laceration. Laceration now only counted using whole numbers previously decayed into decimals. Laceration meter decreased to 6 was 8. Laceration meter decay delay increased to 12 seconds was 15 seconds. Increased laceration stack decay time to 3 seconds was 2 seconds. Laceration visual feedback updated. Now displays as a survivor directly for both survivors and killers. Laceration cuts removed from survivor's user interface. Interesting. Don't really have any problems with laceration, honestly. The laceration stuff sounds fairly good. Style. Right. The trickster performing combo actions generate style points. See, that doesn't... I don't understand what combo actions are. This isn't a fighting game, you know what I mean, or something like that. So, I'm really confused for what they mean by combo action. Combo action is triggered when 2 back-to-back gameplay actions are distinct. What does that mean? The following actions generate 1 style point. Hitting a survivor with a blade, first only hit only. Injuring a survivor from laceration or basic attack. Hooking a survivor. Basic breaking a downs pallet. Basic breaking a breakable wall. Damaging a generator. And snuffing a boon totem. So basically just play the game. And you get style points. Okay, that... Just playing the game to get 1 style point is fair. I'm sure you'll probably get a lot more 1 style points than the other ones, but we'll see. So the following actions generate 2 style points. Hitting a survivor with 4 blades from at least 4 meters without missing or exiting the first stage. Hitting a survivor with a blade from more than 16 meters away and interrupting a survivor. See, those make sense to be harder because those are harder things to do for most players. Even a veteran, under certain circumstances, will struggle to get these. So I think these being 2 points, or at least higher than the standard point, makes sense. The following actions generate 3 style points. Hitting a survivor with a blade through small gaps. See, that may also make sense to be higher. There's certain things in the 2 style points that I would probably add to the 3 style points, like interrupting a survivor. It's incredibly hard to interrupt survivors, so I feel like that should be a freestyle point 1 as well. And maybe even the more than 60 meter away thing. But that one can stay as a 2 point. I just think based on how often they happen, I feel like you could argue interrupting a survivor should also be a freestyle point as well. Style ranks. So it says there are 6 style ranks: E, D, C, B, A, and S rank. Style ranks each have their respective bonus, maximum throw rate, and locker restocking speed modifiers. Higher bonuses at higher ranks. So higher style ranks require more style points to reach. Higher style ranks feature progressively shorter combo timers. Ranks regress the previous in order if combo timer ever lapses. So okay, so you can lose any of the ranks, which kind of sucks. You can just start going down again. I'd like it if maybe that happens was like the first couple of ranks, like highest tier ranks, but like let you stay like a certain rank. I think that could maybe work depending on what the bonuses are, but I don't know what the bonuses are yet, so maybe it won't. Earning style points refreshes the current style ranks combo timer, and rank combo timers are paused while the trickster performing interactions with survivors or interactable objects. So we got S rank. When reaching of S rank, survivors within 44 meters of the trickster are revealed via killer instinct for 4.4 seconds, and all survivors are notified across the trial. While in S rank, the trickster gains a 44-meter tear radius.
Get more with Scott. I like a good simple morning, but simple doesn't have to be boring. Just a few ingredients.
The trickster gains a 44-meter tear radius. Low bias disabled. Laceration meters decay 50% slower. Blade throw and locker restock speeds increase to maximum. Main event can be activated. S-Rank has a 66-second combo timer. Jeez. S-Rank cannot be paused or refreshed, unlike lower style ranks. Okay, so you can pause or refresh the lower ones. That's nice. And S-Rank always reverts the E-Rank via timer or once main event ends. Interesting that S-Rank automatically goes all the way down to the lowest one. That's, I think, kind of a... Not only is that a big deal, I feel like that'll deter some people from even wanting to reach S-Rank. That's such a huge... like, disadvantage. You drop all the way down to the lowest rank and then have to re-climb up the style point ranks all over again just to get back there. But granted, you'd probably only hit this one towards the end of the trial anyways, unless you're just insanely good. So maybe it works. Maybe that's not as big of a deal as I initially thought. Maybe. Main event. Did you say that they're not going to tell us about the other ranks? But whatever. We saw that. Press the secondary ability button to activate main event. Main event lasts 8 seconds plus 6 seconds. The trickster throws blades at a 1.67 times the default blade throw speed. Note, not affected by consecutive blade throws and style ring blade throw modifiers. Survivors near the trickster are notified while performing main event. S rank timer is paused. Each blade hitting survivors award bonus style points. The trickster can cancel main event via the secondary action button. When main event ends, the trickster's power goes on cooldown for 4 seconds. S rank resets the E rank. The trickster goes up in style points over time based on bonus style points earned during main event. Trickster's add-ons. Okay, this is. We are. Taking a look. I can't find it. My goodness gracious. Memento blades, which were reworked, displays a reticle while aiming with blades. That's kind of nice. Trick pouch increases maximum carried blades by 4 and starts the trial as partial blades, killing part chords, which was reworked. Increases time before style rings from D to A DK by 20%. Inferno wires rework. Decreases showstoppers cooldown after main event by 10%. G wounds autograph rework. Increases the duration of main event by 33%. Lucky blade rework. On every 8 blade hit, an additional bonus is assigned at random. Increases laceration by 100%. Gain 3% haste for 3 seconds. Gain an additional style point. Caged heart shoes, which were reworked, increases movement speed while in the froze state by 1%. Tequila Moon Rock rework increases froze speed by 10% for 8 seconds after getting a style rank. Bloody Boa rework decreases the speed at which laceration decays by 10%. On target single rework increases time before laceration starts decaying by 15%. Bloody Boa reworked decreases speed at which laceration decays by 10%. On target single reworked increases time before laceration starts to decay by 15%. Fizz Spin Soda rework increases the number of blade throws required it to slow movement speed while throwing by 2. Waiting for you watch, which was reworked to where whose laceration meter fully decays, reveal for 4 seconds. Ripper Brace reworked freestyle rank your basic vault windows, basic break pellets, or breakable walls and damage generators 3% faster. Melodus Merger increases blade reload speed at lockers by 25%. Diamond Cufflinks reveals survivors' auras for 6 seconds when their laceration reaches 1 blade hit from maximum. Edge of Revival album, which was reworked. Blade hits from more than 42 meters away deal 100% more laceration. Cut Through You single, which was reworked. When reaching a new style rank at a stackable 1% haste bonus. All stacks last until style rank decreases by any means. Death Roast compilation, which was reworked. Refills blades by 50% of the maximum when main event ends. Iridescent photo card rework. Increases the duration of main event by 100%. When main event is activated, reveals your auras, all survivors and blog soul generators for 8 seconds. Please note the Tricky Blades add-on has been disabled. Well, now that I finally got through all that. Interesting that most of them were reworked, though I guess that makes sense because you didn't have like the style point system and stuff before. I'm not really good enough at the character to fully say if this is good or bad or what, but I will say that this is an interesting idea, so I'm at least glad they're testing these for Trickster, because I think this is an interesting idea at the very least, and definitely something that they should explore, but I'll be curious to see if, like, how much of this makes it to the, makes it at the end when they release the chapter. Well, the first immediately is like, just jumps you into the add-ons. So, wow, his whole thing is way shorter. I just want to comment, I can't highlight it, I guess. I can't highlight. Oh, I can highlight. I can highlight. Can't highlight what I want to though, but these these white lines are, oh god, okay. Oh my god, it's still going. Holy crap, this is gonna take forever to get through. Jeez, that's so much text. Gee, this might be a multi-parter just due to length. My goodness. But yeah, those white lines I think is really nice because before, like, there were spaces to separate things. Kind of like was the first here in between, like, the first add-ons and actually starting to talk about stuff. But I like the inclusion of those white lines as well to break up sections or to break up characters and stuff. I think that's been really helpful so far in just kind of signaling to me, hey, you're on a new thing now. Alright, see what's new with the first. Decreased second phase of the World Breaker timer from 60 seconds to 50 seconds. I don't even remember what that was, so cool, I guess. Charge Vine attack ready sound plays slightly in advance for survivors. Charge 0.33 seconds. Sound activates at 0.15 seconds. Interesting. Killer base attack lunge speed adjusted from 6.6 meters a second to 6.9 meters a second to be on par with all killers. Interesting. Those three changes are really interesting to me. I know the first, some people felt like he was balanced. Some people said he was like, I remember Orange telling me that some people felt he was like overpowered already. And some people thought he was underpowered, because I told him something about seeing a lot of people saying that he was, like, underpowered, I believe. And it's interesting that this killer didn't really please everyone. I mean, I guess they did something right that if nobody was pleased. But these changes are definitely interesting sounding. These three big changes that have nothing to do with the add-ons sound really interesting to me. And I'm curious to see how that'll affect gameplay. The first add-ons, Bead Maze. I don't know why I thought Bead Maze. That doesn't even make sense. Now increases World Breaker timer for 2.5 seconds for each living survivor. Shattered Wrist Rocket changed common rarity to uncommon rarity. So that seemingly stayed the same, they just changed rarity of it. Bloody Roar Skate now killer gains the haste effect for 1.5 seconds upon exiting undergate attack. Mid-century radio. Changed uncommon rarity to common rarity. Forged death certificate. Reworked for each successful World Breaker token placed on a survivor. via Vine attack, detectable status effect until the next will become activation. Rapid remains changed rare rarity to very rare. Now give exhausted status effect for 10 seconds and increases the upside down ability cooldown by 5 seconds. Broken skateboard reworked for when World Breaker mode starts. Your basic vault windows 30% faster, and auras of pallets and windows are revealed to you within 32 meters for the next 65 seconds. Pizza goggles. Changed very rare rarity to rare rarity. Reworked for the undergate attacks area of effect range. Is reduced by 90%. Its cooldown timer is shortened by 25 seconds. Your exit cooldown timer after executing the undergate attack is reduced by 80%. And finally, chest piece removed the negative aspect of increasing the upside down ability cooldown, and the T charges attack radius are now diminished by 40%. Interesting. I don't know enough about the first to give a good opinion on if these will be good or bad or what, but it sounds interesting for sure. So I'm always happy they're trying something different. Uh, they're cool, and if it's anything outside of certain, and I just want to say, playing against this killer sucks. I do not enjoy playing against School. He's so not fun to play against for me. It's well, let's see what we got here. Adjusted reticle stickiness. What? On survivors from 0.18 to 0.05 seconds when attempting a cognitive grab. Updated the automatic hit detection that occurs at the end of a cognitive leap vault when a survivor attempts to vault back toward the killer to ensure greater consistency. Okay, fair enough. Those aren't terrible, I guess. Killer actions update. And this seems like another huge section. Like, it's crazy that I'm however many minutes into this video and we're still going. Like, I'm starting to get fatigued a little bit. I had that issue with reading all these, but I like reading them. I feel like reading them gets kind of my point, or my feelings on them across a little bit better sometimes. Killer Actions Update. Accompanying the new language found in the perks description update, see UX section below. Okay, so we're not there yet. We have expanded our distinction between basic and special actions performed by killers. Starting in update 9.5.0, the following terms will now appear. Empower, add-on, and perk descriptions. Basic attack, basic break, when a pallet or breakable wall is broken by the default ability of a killer. Special break, when a down pallet or breakable wall is broken into a ability granted by a killer's power. Basic vault, when a window is vaulted by the default of any killer. Special vault, when a window or downed pallet is vaulted due to an ability granted by a killer's power. Damaging generators, when a generator is damaged and loses progress due to the default ability of any killer. Generator explosions, when a generator loses progress due to an ability granted by a killer's power or perk. With these new terms, we intend to express with increased accuracy when specific gameplay interactions are intended to work alongside one another, notably killer powers and killer perks. Multiple gameplay descriptions been updated to surface these new interactions.
Look at her, using pull-ups training pants just like undies. I'm so proud.
I'm a big kid now.
It's time to rise. To learn with the latest tech.
The Flying Killer's power descriptions have been updated. Basic attack break, the singularity. Special break, the shape, hillbilly, cannibal, demogorgon, oni, blight gnosis, knight, and dark lord. Special vault, legion, mastermind, good guy, ghoul, and Krazu, the girl. The Flying Killer add-on descriptions have been updated. The Wraith, the serpent suit, the Wraith Shadow Dance White, the Wraith Shadow Dance Blood, the Hillbilly Low Pro Chance, the Spirit, Kintsugi Teacup, the Legion, Iridescent Buttons, the Ghostface, Olsen's Wallet, Demogorgon, Barb's Glasses, Executioner, Obsidian Goblet, Mastermind, Lab Photo, Knight, Pillage Mead, Skill Merchant, Geographical Readout, Xenomorph, Self-Destructible, Good Guy, Hard Hat, the Lich, Ring of Telekinesis, the Lich, Vorpal Sword, the Dark Lord, Pocket Watch, the Dark Lord's Self-Fetter, the Hellmaster Gunpowder Tin, the Ghoul CCG ID card, the Ghoul Red-Headed Centipede, the Ghoul Iridescent Eye Patch, Animatronics Endel CPU, Krazu Rotten Swine, Krazu Mysterious Elixir, Krazu Shattered Wrist Rocket, the first Shattered Wrist Rocket, first Stainless Glass Merle, first Broken Skateboard, and first Electroshock Collar. The following killer perks descriptions have been updated. Brittle Strength, Overcharge, Fire Up, Bamboozle, Pop Gust the Weasel, Spirit Fury, now destroys pallets, Surge, Trail of Torment, Dragon's Grip, Oppression, Eruption, Scourge Hook, Pain Resonance, Call of Brine, Dissolution, now destroys pallets, Superior Anatomy, Over the Hide, Game of Foot, Thwack, Machine Learning, Unbound, Unforeseen, Undone, Dark Arrogance, Help Wanted, Turn Back the Clock, Hex Hive Mind. The following survivor perks descriptions have been updated. Alert, Blast Mine, Wiretap, Chemical Trap, and Bada Boom. Survivor item update. Fog Vial. Reworked the fog cloud visual effect and rendering methods. Opacity inside and outside its bounds is now consistent across all rounds, always fully opaque when seen from the outside. Adapts to each round's unique lighting and color. The following essential auras are now always displayed through the fog cloud. Survivors down, survivors hooked. It increased the number of charges to 4 was 2 for the fog items. Apprentice's Fog Vial, Artisan's Fog Vial, and Vigo's Fog Vial. Fog Vial add-ons. Potent Extract Visceral. Increased the fog cloud, increased opacity bonus to 100% was 5%. Note the increased bonus opacity is relative to the new fog cloud, the visual effect. We're slowly but surely getting through this, aren't we? Survivor perk updates. Better Together. Plot twist can no longer force this perk's effect to activate out of the survivor's control. Fast Track, which was reworked. Whenever another survivor is hooked, you earn 1, 2, 3 tokens up to 9. While repairing, whenever you hit a great skill check, spend all tokens for each token spent. The generator gains 2 permanent charges. Interesting. Self-preservation, which was reworked. When another survivor is hooked, you gain elusive for 25-30 seconds. The icon has been updated to reflect this change. Okay, fair enough. Unbreakable. Once per trial, while downed by the killer, you can fully recover. While downs, you recover 25, 30, 35% faster. No, now only grant the survivor the ability to recover when the killer was specifically responsible for them entering the down state. Killer perk updates. Forced hesitation. Plot twist can no longer force this perk's effect to activate out of the killer's control. Genetic limits. Update it to apply the exhaustive status effect simultaneously when the health state loss is recognized on survivors. Not afterwards. Hex crowd control, which was reworked. The first time a survivor, medium, or fast falls a window, a dual totem ignites. The last 4, 5, 6 window survivors, medium, or fast fall are blocked. Your basic vault blocked windows 50% faster. You see the aura of blocked windows within 24 meters. Pop Goes the Weasel. Whenever you hook a survivor for the next 35, 40, 45 seconds, when you damage your generator, it explodes and loses 15% more progress. Which 20% current progress, not total progress only. Terminus. Update the trigger earlier when generators are completed to block healing abilities of survivors occurring simultaneously. Honestly, the perk stuff don't sound too bad, but yeah, I'm excited to see the features. Perks description update. All survivor and killer perk descriptions in the game have been updated and revised with simplified and consistent language. Aside from perk updates above, perk gameplay has not changed across the board. Our goals were the following: shorten text and character usage, ease player understanding, reset perk language for easier future maintenance. Fair enough. To help achieve this, we have added expanding tooltips in the user interface. Status effects can now be expanded separately to display reminders. Status affects each feature unique color labels, flagging them as positive or negative. Key bindings associated with the perk's activated effect are now displayed in listed perks. Text description, examples, dead hard, come and get me, dramaturgy, etc. I like that, how they're making that simpler, though. Aura's customization. Aura's colors have been updated. Players can customize some Aura's colors on beta tab. Survivors, killers, hooks, dying Aura's normal hooks, generators, palettes, windows, store. Players can use a clear all button to remove active notifications. New prestige. Honestly, the aura customization, I could see that being useful. Just so that way you can mark things differently and whatnot. I'm happy about that because
Scott 1000 lasts 2 times longer, so you can use as many sheets as you want. Get more.
yeah, I can see the orders being helpful, but I'm really excited to learn about the new prestige menu and reward system. So many people for years, ever since they added the ability to go out to prestige 100, and all that good stuff. Added a new way to track and view your rewards when prestiging your character. That's kind of nice. Because you couldn't really view them before. You just had to know, like, what it was. But I'm really happy there's a new way to track and view that stuff, because that's really helpful. Just so that way you can kind of, you know, keep track of what you're going for and whatnot. Simply clicking on your character's prestige level will let you access and track your progress. New rewards given at prestige 75 or 25, 50, 75, and 100 per character. So I'm assuming that's on top of 1 through 9's rewards, right? I would imagine they didn't touch rewards 1 through 9, but I'm curious about what the updated things are. My guess is, just based on other games, I could see there being some sort of gold, like, outfit or something for characters you could get. A gold weapon would be cool for killers. Or something similar, like maybe an iridescent sort of version of that, because that makes sense for this game. I don't know, though, obviously. The player card badge menu now includes the option to select between variations on a single badge currently used for prestige badge rewards. Interesting. I don't fully know what those mean yet. Obviously, I've just been reading this stuff. I haven't actually looked in game, but when I go in game, I really hope into the PTB. I really hope I remember to check these, so that way I know what's going on. Why is bug Mastermind got a bunch of bug fixes? Oh God. Oh. We're a little bit closer to the end than I thought we were. Bug fixes audio. Fix an issue where Hattie's Silent Breach outfit does not have its lobby theme playing when equipped. Fix an issue where outfits in the Moonrise collection are missing their lobby themes when equipped. Fix an issue where Junji Ito lobby theme is missing when using the search party clothes outfit for the trickster in lobby. Fix an issue where the generator pair dialogue between the Walking Dead characters is no longer trigger. Fix an issue where the reward gauge fill SFX is out of sync in prestige reward menu. Fix an issue where SFX from the Furin add-on plays from killer POV when phasing with the spirit. Fix an issue where Cage of Atonement music is not working properly. Bot improvements. I feel like bot improvements are a little bit more interesting than audio fixes, for me at least, so let's see what we got here. Fixed issues causing survivor bots to not dodge the intended direction. Improved survivor bots dodging against the tricksters. Survivor bots now have as much control as players when speared by the Deathslinger. So not much then. Tentative fix for survivor bots sometimes automatically reveal Ghostface from anywhere. Survivor bots are now smarter with what they interact with when playing against the plague. Survivor bots now no longer use plot twists when affected by the plague or the Krazu. Survivor bots will now avoid taunting and blocking the path of other survivors during chases. Fixed multiple navigation issues in Ormond Lake Mine. Interesting. Now we get to a word soup for sure, which is the character bug fixes. I think it's interesting that Wesker had so many that they had to give him his own section. That's crazy to me. That does not happen often. Fix an issue where the animatronic no longer holds the side of the screen when performing lobby animation. Oh, that's interesting that they got rid of that. Fix an issue where the animatronic's animation could break when pallet stuns while using X grab on a survivor. Whoops, that's a problem. Fix an issue where remove X could allow survivors to walk through the animatronic in some instances. Fix an issue where the Nemesis could hit survivors with tentative strike after they exited the trial. Fix an issue where the trapper could bypass trap placement areas by flicking. Fix an issue where the trapper's bear trap had inconsistent hitbox detection. Fix an issue where the trapper could place traps in inaccessible locations by FPS glitching. Fix an issue where the cannibal's power could break during state changes. Fix an issue where the shape was unable to tombstone Mori, a survivor, while Bardic Inspiration was being performed. Fix an issue where the shape could kill a survivor during the self-unhook animation while Evil Incarnate was active. Fix an issue where the Demogorgon would stutter when spamming M2. That's a problem. Fix an issue where the Dire Crow... Whoops. Where the Dire Crow could be missing from the survivor POV during the Artist Morty. Fix an issue where the Artist Dire Crow's flight path did not behave consistently around small assets. Fix an issue where the external icon was missing from the add-on geographical readout was active for the Skull Merchant. Fix an issue where the survivor reveal distance was inconsistent between 15 and 32 meters against the ghost face. Fix an issue where the Legion's power could break when blinded while vaulting. That's a problem. Fix an issue where the first Vine attack animation would frequently remain in the charged state after spamming. Release Vine attack. Fix an issue where the first Mind Break animation was missing when 2 or more survivors were hit at the same time while the Mini-Mori requirements were met. Fix an issue where the Mend action could not executed. What? Do I even read this right? Cannot be executed when 2 or more survivors were hit at the same time, while the Mini-Mori requirements were met for the first. You got a decent amount of bug fixes too, huh? Fix an issue where the Howlmaster would rubber band. Whoops, that's a problem. When walking after successfully grabbing a survivor with the chase ability. Yeah, no, that needs to be fixed for sure. Fix an issue where the application could crash for survivors and killer after the Howlmaster hooked a survivor. That's also a big fix. Fix an issue where the camera could get stuck in Charlotte's view on Victor's head, making it difficult to control the twins. Fix an issue where the Lich could rarely keep the movement speed of Fly when stunned at the same time as casting the spell. Fix an issue where the flashlight beam would reappear after the Dark Lord changed to bat form after being previously blinded by the flashlight and the survivor crafted a flashbang. Alright, so those are definitely kind of a mixture of like weird things and good things to fix. Though I just want to say before we get here to Wesker here, or the Mastermind, whatever name you want to use for him. Apparently whatever is in here broke him. And what do I mean by broke him? I mean, I forget what I was looking at. Because I wasn't looking at anything DVD specific, I believe. but I kept stumbling upon people like losing it over him. I think maybe it was like YouTube titles or something, but I can't remember. I just saw a lot of people like losing it over him. And I don't know why, obviously. It's my first time reading these and experiencing this, but yeah, that's interesting to think about, that these, I guess, broke the character or something. But let's see what they did to Wesker. Refactor done in the virulent bound power. I don't even know what that means. This specifically tackles the desync issues found while using the power. Will also improve responsiveness for most of his power usage. As well, changed how we detect a collision with other characters, survivors, killers, zombies, while grabbing a survivor. It will now properly detect the size of the character collision size. I just want to say, Wesker's PTB was so aggravating for that. I remember we filmed a video and both Orange and a commenter were confused by what happened. So if you get hit, because I couldn't leave because Wesker hit me with his power, meaning that I couldn't leave for a number of seconds, and that meant that I lost, unfortunately. But yeah. And that was annoying. PTB Wesker was so annoying because his hitbox for his virulent bound would like go through objects and stuff, which was super annoying and just made him so OP. So I really hope that that will kind of fix that. Let's see what we got here. Fix the issue where the mastermind's virulent bound could glitch off a hill's ledge when falling. Fix the issue where the mastermind's virulent bound. Speed effect was displayed after vaulting and falling a ledge. Fixing an issue where survivors were able to use their flashlight on being thrown with virulent bound by the mastermind. Fixing an issue where the mastermind could initiate a partial vault on a pallet near a hole while falling. Fixing an issue where the mastermind could grab survivors through vault locations when using virulent bound at a certain angle. So far, dude, none of these sound like what people are freaking the F out over. You know what I mean? These just sound like good bug fixes so far. Fix the issue where the mastermind would barely float in the air when vaulting from a higher vantage point while using virulent bound. Fix the issue where the mastermind's supply crate could be climbed on when forcing collision with other players. Fix an issue where survivors could be stuck in rocks after being charged by the mastermind or on Thompson House. Fixing issue where the chase music would end after successfully hitting a healthy survivor with a brilliantly balanced mastermind. Fixing issue where a survivor could lose control of their character. Well, that's a problem. If the mastermind you're feeling balanced as they enter locker. So that one definitely is kind of game breaking. The fact that you lose control of your own character is concerning. Fixing an issue where players could escape a trial when grabbed by the mastermind under high latency conditions. So that's also a good thing to fix. Fixing an issue where the collision box was too large when using charge bound on a survivor toward another survivor's mastermind. Yeah, so far these don't sound game breaking. So I'm curious which one specifically has led to the outcry over him. I will have to do some research on that because none of these sound like it. I thought he got like actual changes, not like bug fixes. So I'm really confused by what people were talking about currently.
Once in a lifetime is never enough.
Never enough. For the ring finger, for every finger. When I wear diamonds, I feel powerful, fun, fabulous. The warmth,
The brilliance
for all that is beautiful in life. For all the precious moments,
For anywhere and everywhere.
for all the right reasons.
or just because.
Diamonds, diamonds.
Environment/maps. It's an issue on the disturbed wall where there's not enough space to interact in front of a hook. Fix an issue in the treatment feeder where the plague's vile purge was blocked by an invisible collision. Fix an issue where the mastermind could bound off a balcony on the Sanctum of Wrath. Fix an issue where the nurse could blink into the cage bathroom stalls. Mid-Witch Elementary. That kind of sucks. You can't do that anymore. The environment/maps is always interesting because I feel like it always has nurse like going out of bounds or something. And again, I've never seen it, but if anyone has footage or knows of a good video where you can see nurse going out of bounds, I want to see it because I've always been curious what that looks like to the player going out of bounds because I've never actually seen it before. Perks. Fix an issue with the Phantom Fear perk, I forget which one that is, could trigger during the Morty animation for the shape was the Tombstone add-on. Fix the issue where survivors held items rarity would increase when using Blast Mine, and the Exaltation perk on a cloaked the Wraith. Fix an issue where Face the Darkness did not activate with claw traps, and for the people. Fix an issue where the recover bar could appear reduced while after interacting with a generator while invocation with spiders was active. Fix the issue where the wolf form pound special attack did not remove play with your food tokens for the Dark Lord. Fix the issue where the turn back the clock's ability button was briefly visible when several killers used their power. Fix an issue where low profile could activate more than once per match. Fix an issue where off the record failed to activate when unhooked by shoulder the burden. Fix an issue where thrilling tremors would trigger secret projects undetectable effect after all generators were completed. Those are definitely good things to fix. UI, bottom navigation menu button now display their input prompts for controllers. Fix an issue where the survivor's HUD would update whenever a survivor used a locker against the Lich. Those are fine. I mean, Miscellaneous. Fixing error preventing tutorial bot matches from starting. Fix an issue where a survivor could unhook themselves and the tutorial soft locking them. Fix an issue where survivors were unable to use fog vials near ledges. Fix an issue where the potent extract fog vial add-on had no effect on the duration. And finally, node issues. This took so much time to get through, but I'm happy the video was almost done. Custom game match management settings only visually update when adding bots or players to the lobby. Note, this is a visual bug only, the functionality is good. Morty previews are disabled. On the Trickster's rank up UI, rarely the S rank effects will blink in and out and remain when S rank ends. Mastermind's charge remains active without player input when quickly double tapping the power button. I wonder if that's the issue that people are referring to, because that's the only thing that sounds of substance that could be a huge making him so whatever. But I don't know if that's true. I just know there's some change with Wesker that has made him so bad that people want him to be reverted back. I don't know if he's worse now or just way too good. I have no idea, but... Alright guys, so I finally read everything. I will give you my final thoughts. So overall, a lot of the bug fixes stuff are fine, you know, nothing too crazy. I don't understand why Wesker is so problematic from just reading this, because from just reading this, it sounded like they just did some much needed bug fixes for him. But apparently there's something else going on with him that I don't know. But yeah, a lot of these, well, a lot of the stuff down here for sure were just kind of little bug things. The new prestige menu and reward system, I'm really interested in seeing what that looks like in-game during my PTB videos. To see what that's like, and to hopefully get to see what the prestige 25, 50, 75, and 100 rewards are. I know there's a lot of theories about what they should do for those, so I'm excited to see what they actually went with. The auras customization, I think, can be really handy. I think it could be really handy to have different auras for everything, just to kind of help you, just to kind of help remind you of what's going on and whatnot. I think that's really handy. The perks description update I think is needed. Some of the perks got really wordy, right? They got really word soupy. So I'm happy that they're going to shorten that. That's huge. And just kind of move how that works. The killer perk updates sounded fine. I'm not really an expert on killer perks just because I'm not really a good killer player. But they sounded fine to me, at least on paper. The survivor perk sounded fine as well. I feel like the changes that they went with for these were okay, nothing too crazy, nothing game breaking, but nothing too bad. They sounded fine to me, but we will see what that actually looks like in the PTB and see what they do with the versions coming to the live games. The survivor item update for the fog vial is interesting. The fog vial being a new item is kind of interesting, and I'm happy that it's continuing to get updated and fixed. So I don't really have an issue with that. Oh yeah, this word soup. Oh jeez. For the killer actions update. And I think that's interesting to just to reword that stuff. It's fine. All they really do is just reword it, but fair enough, I guess. the ghoul stuff just sounded fine to me.
Experimenting
Nothing,
with AI. But are you ready to lead?
nothing too crazy there. The first had some. I feel like the first changes were interesting. I really hope those work out. Oh God, Trickster. Trickster got so many, it kind of overloaded my brain a little bit, but I like the idea of the style points and the style breaks. I like the idea of main event being a one-time thing in a match. I like how the different tiers give you different bonuses, just to kind of help you like get through the game as long as you can like keep doing stuff enough in like quick enough succession to like keep everything going. And then the new survivor, obviously, like the character wise is kind of whatever, because I'm excited to see what they look like, but character wise they're kind of whatever, right? Because all survivors are kind of the same and do the same stuff as every single one of them. It's just like hitbox differences and stuff. But the perks, these are some of the most exciting survivor perks to me in a while. I love how they're not situational. They actually sound good. They sound useful. They sound like they can be used throughout really any trial, as long as you get chased by the killer anyways. And I like that. I like how they're not situational perks like so many of the other ones we've been getting. That just makes me really happy. And I'm excited to see what the new map is like as well. But yeah, that is finally me, the entire patch notes. I'm very happy I finally found time to read it and got this video done. I do apologize for how long this took me. When there's so much text, it's hard for me to get through it without like yawning a whole bunch, which I always feel bad about, or getting kind of bored myself. But we're finally through it. So yeah, I'm excited to just upload this, see what everyone thinks, get some feedback on what people think about the PTB so far, and what will be changed, what will be kept in the live game, stuff like that. And yeah, so with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share the video, ring the bell, do all the aggravated garbage that helps us out a lot and means a lot to us. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Boo. Boo.